charcoal. Who's your plastic surgeon, Tim Burton? Courtney Love, you're like the girl next door. If you happen to live next to a methadone clinic. Of course Pam's here, because Pam and the Hoff have so much in common. They both made embarrassing videos with meat stuffed in their mouths. I wouldn't fuck B. Arthur's dick with Andy Dick's pussy. Look at her, she's a cougar. Freddy Cougar. Oh, Seth, by the way, South Park called. They want their everything back. How is it possible that Courtney Love looks worse than Kurt Cobain? What are the odds an alcoholic gets cast in a show about a car that drives itself? I only roast the ones I love. Hey, roasters, how you doing? All right. Fantastic. My name's Jeff Ross. I'm the Roast Master General, and welcome to my Fireside Chatroom. It's pretty cool, huh? In a little while on Comedy Central Television, you'll get to witness the roast of the world's most famous slumlord, Donald Trump. Give him a round of applause. To get you ready for it, you got a half hour with me on the internet. How do you guys like my set? It's not bad, right? Yeah. I just told the decorator, do whatever you want, just don't make it look like the interior of one of Trump's buildings. Have you seen how tacky it is inside Trump Tower? New York hasn't seen anything that ugly since the year Gilbert Gottfried was on Saturday Night Live. Which brings us to why we're here, the Donald. Comedy Central wanted to roast somebody more likable, but Bernie Madoff was busy. Oh, too soon? Trump's roast could go down as one of the most vicious since the Attila the Hun roast in 1497. By the way, Larry King was at that one also. So for the next 30 minutes, I'll prepare you for the roast in the only way I know how, by insulting the fuck out of people. And not just the people on the dais, but you people at home as well. And we'll do it, and we'll be doing it all by computer, because like I always tell my sister, you can't catch syphilis through Wi-Fi. You can start tweeting your questions right now, at @RealJeffreyRoss, that's my personal Twitter. Use the hashtag TrumpRoast, which will be a nice break from using the hashtag winning with every fucking tweet I've read in the last month. Now this is really cool. If you want me to roast you in a little while, on video chat we'll play a game I like to call Roast Roulette. So get on your web chat right now at ComedyCentral.com and think of some good Donald Trump jokes and think of some good Donald Trump jokes, and we'll see if you have what it takes to be an aspiring roast master. But back to tonight's victim, Donald Trump. Are you guys ready to roast? All right. Normally, the only non-celebrity who gets to participate in a roast is Whitney Cummings. But on Fireside Chatroom, we give anyone a chance to be a roaster. So I went to Trump Tower in New York to let real Americans try to diss the Donald. Ladies, please roast Donald Trump for us.
I think we could spend 10 minutes on his hair.
Yep.
But he doesn't even spend 10 minutes on his hair.
Trump, what's with the hair?
Donald Trump gets a haircut.
Donald Trump is such an egomaniac, he combs over his pubic hair.
He ain't got to use a bathroom.
He probably does look like he needs to go to the bathroom in this picture. I have to roast this guy.
You do.
You
Don't do
recognize
that.
him?
He might be our next president.
I think it was her first husband.
They got to take a number 2. He always screen it. Not good.
You think he'd make a good president?
Oh, I don't know, probably fire everybody first.
You're right, he might fire Congress.
Could be a good thing.
He could balance the budget with his own checkbook. What do you think of him?
Not much.
Really? You're tough.
I think it's a wig.
You think it's a wig?
Yeah.
It's definitely not a wig.
Donald Trump went to Match.com. He'd be set up with Supercuts.
As a kid, Donald Trump was so obsessed with money that he fantasized about Ben Franklin.
He never come out of this car?
He does, but rare, only at night. He flies out the top.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
You got a joke you want to tell him? He's going to watch this.
You're fired.
Donald,
You're fired.
Donald, you're not having a bad hair day, you're having a bad hair life.
Donald Trump is a born winner.
Even his haircut is called the comb-over achiever.
Donald Trump's a good investor. He has Larry King in a death pool.
Donald Trump is such an egomaniac. I know he tried to bang Ellen DeGeneres. Donald, your barber is fired.
A roast from France, Donald. Please. Donald Trump.
Donald Trump,
Donald, did you hear all that? Can you handle it? Okay, good. The people have spoken. Now back to me in the studio. All right. Great job, me. I really appreciate it. You know, I love Twitter, I love roasts, and I love questions. So this is a segment where I'm going to answer people's Twitter questions about roasting. Let's hit Real Jeffrey Ross Twitter and finally answer some of your burning roast questions. First one is, let's see. It's from some guy, Mike. What is the real story with Trump's feud with Rosie O'Donnell? Thank you for that tweet. You know, that's a good question. I don't know about this Rosie O'Donnell feud, but this is like a guy with a bad haircut and a small penis versus a guy with a bad haircut and a small penis. All right, next Twitter. This one came in from actual Donald Trump a little while ago. I wanted to get it in there. He says, hey, Jeff, Whitney Cummings and Lisa Lampanelli, you call yourselves comedians? Trump, let me tell you something. If you do run for president and you become leader of the free world, just promise me one thing. I can have a ride on Air Force One. Wow. All right, next Twitter. This guy says, will the roast affect Donald Trump's bid to be president? No way. I mean, everyone will even Obama will tell you a standard first step before any presidential bid is to let Anthony Jeselnik publicly belittle you on basic cable. Right after this, I'm flying to Russia to roast Vladimir Putin. All right, come on, more tweeters. Seriously, what the fuck is up with Trump's hair? This is a great question. That is kind of a risky comb-over he has for a guy who likes to fly around in helicopters. But I really shouldn't talk. Look at this right here. Yeah. My haircut, Trump's haircut, is messy, incoherent, and poorly planned, which I believe is known as the Larry King interview. All right, next tweet. Who's going to replace Greg Giraldo? Roast in peace, Greg Giraldo. Give him a round of applause. We miss that guy. Yeah. I want everyone to know that there's going to be a tribute special called Give It Up for Greg Giraldo this Friday night at 11:30. This is one of the funniest guys of all time. If you don't know Greg Giraldo, you have to watch this special. And if you do love Greg Giraldo, this will really, I think, make you feel a lot of emotions, but it's also really important that we did this. If you'll notice at the roast tonight, when it airs, we have one less performer on stage because we wanted to sort of leave a seat for Greg. So we miss you, Greg. Roast in peace. Next tweet. Who do you want to roast next? You know what? Fuck it. I'll roast Trump again. He was great. If not, you know, I've been watching the news. You guys have probably heard Charlie Sheen is finally funny. 20 years, the guy never made me laugh. Now he's my favorite comedian of all time. And roasting Sheen would be like a 3-part miniseries on Comedy Central. So, all right, we have a celebrity tweet just came in. This is from Lisa Lampanelli, who's doing a live tweet of her own at this very moment. Lisa, she says, Jeff, I have a question for you. Do you think the situation is delusional enough to think he did well with the roast? Now, some of you were probably there. Some of you watching at home will see this a little later. The situation went up, and, you know, he's not a professional. He's not a real comedian. He did his best. It's a really hard thing to do, but to his credit, he didn't run off. He stayed there. He finished his material, and he has balls, and we appreciate being a guest, the situation at our roast. So thank you, Sitch, for showing up. Next tweet. Stoner Brook. He tweeted, how did Marlee Matlin make it on the dais? You know, she's on Celebrity Apprentice this season, the deaf Oscar-winning actress. And she was the only one on the Celebrity Apprentice who wasn't sick of hearing Trump's voice. Thank you. All right, next tweet. Here we go. This is fun. Jeff, how good is Snoop's weed? Really fucking good. During a commercial break, he told this story, so I'm not revealing anything, but he told everybody how him and I snuck backstage into a porta potty, and let's just say we put the pot in porta potty that night. All right, another tweet. Let's see what we got. Jeff, with all these shows, how do you still find time to get so fat? Jesus. Twitter's vicious sometimes. I know. Well, you know, I've been trying to do a little bit. I've been working out. I invented a new yoga position today, downward eating pig. And to answer your questions, I'll be at Duquesne University tomorrow night. This weekend I'll be at the Stress Factory in New Brunswick, New Jersey, my home state. Jersey people here? Nice. Next week I'm in Bismarck and Fargo. Yeah, I don't know why. But if you're in any of those shitty places, come see me perform and I will speed roast you live. Next, and you can go to roastmastergeneral.com later on and see all my tour dates. Who else is tweeting in? This guy says, was Donald Trump a good sport about his roast? Yes, Donald Trump was a great sport for about it, and we should give him a round of applause for that because it's not easy to get roasted. Unfortunately, his hair got really pissed and left the building. All right. Here's one more tweet. Let's see what it is. This is a guy named Writer Dan. He tweets, Jeff, what's your favorite routine as far as writing material? You know what? That's a great question. I get it all the time. We don't just show up and wing it. Roasting for me is like going to battle. Personally, I do a lot of research and, I carb up on Taco Bell and I write as many jokes as possible. But that's just how I do it. Let's find out how these other morons do it.
To prepare for the night, I actually studied the last 2 days just on, making sure, I get out the right jokes.
I spend months slaving over jokes and performing them.
Naturally, I took a shower and shaved my legs and other parts of my body.
A couple hours of working out every day, just so I would look better than everybody else on stage.
The delivery, the pauses, my voice.
What did I do to prep for the night? I smoked a lot of weed, drunk some Hennessy and Coke.
I'm fine.
Drink.
You got to plan for the unexpected.
Good preparation, right?
And then I got pretty and came to the roast.
Is this your first one or last one, sir?
This is the first. This will be the last.
Oh, my God.